I was staying in my mother-in-law's apartment because we'd rented our house out for the summer, and my kids and my husband were somewhere else. I can't remember where. And I was living in my mother-in-law's apartment. She was somewhere else too. And it was baking hot, wasn't it? It was right in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
And it was like a 2-week gig, and it was just this sort of steamy, odd little sort of really sweet experience of just having nothing to do. It was normally when I go to work, I take this kind of menagerie of children and mother-in-laws and mothers and babysitters, and this whole crew of us goes, and it's wonderful, but it's quite, it's the opposite of solitary, and it's the opposite of sort of giving you time to sort of actually think about what the hell you're going to do to give a performance. And this was like, I was suddenly this sort of single person living in New York in my mother-in-law's apartment, going to work every day and having time to come back and think about my lines and pace around the apartment and learn them on my own and sit in a little coffee shop on the way to work. And I have a very sweet memories of it. Yeah, that was my time on that job.
This is none of your business anyway. I'm marrying Jack. He's everything I ever wanted.
Oh, I bet he is.
You don't know anything about me, so back off. What happened to your accent?
I didn't know anything about 30 Rock, but my manager's assistant had said, "You've got to be on the show. It's so cool." And so I said fine, and I turned up, and I was completely sort of disoriented because I'd just been in Lithuania for 3 months with Woody Harrelson, and there I was on the set of this thing. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew Tina Fey was really cool, and it was definitely like funny. And then Elaine Stritch, she was my mother-in-law in it, and she kept telling me jokes I had to tell that I didn't understand. They were fart jokes, and I didn't understand. I was so scared of her. She came in one day, she came in, I just saw this person in a fur coat. She was wearing nothing but a fur coat and black tights and a white shirt, like she always wore that uniform. And I heard her come in the door, and I just heard this figure go, "Does anyone have a fucking pen?" And I knew, I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna go anywhere near that woman, she's so scary. But then we started talking, and she got really into me, and we became friends, and then she was like me so much that she gave me this joke to tell, and I still don't really understand what the joke was, and I was too scared of her to say I don't understand what the joke was, but it was a fart joke. Anyway, I tried to do this joke, but I didn't know what it was, and she just got more and more angry with me, and it was the timing was all off because I didn't understand the joke, but it was something about the tuna I'd been eating at lunch repeating on me or something. But anyway, it was a disaster, and she went from thinking I was really cool to just being so disappointed in me. But it was all because I was too scared to say, what is this joke? Anyway, that was my memory of 30 Rock.
Ben.
Will is the best man I've ever... What just happened?
I got a staff email from you.
Me too.
I sent the email to Sloan. I mean, Will. Oh my God, I sent it to Sloan.
I think the S and Sloan became staff.
You used the asterisk.
All I can think of in the newsroom is just cramming my head full of this dialogue and walking. It was the long journey from the again, pacing around in my trailer to the studio, and just being terrified, like pacing, trying to cram these words in, and then just being terrified to even move my head in case like a word or two fell out of an ear as I walked from my trailer to the studio. And if someone said anything to me, I just couldn't speak to them. I can't talk to you. I've got to get to the set and say these freaking lines. That's what I remember, just that walk, thinking I'm not going to be able to remember, I can't move my head in case the words fall out of my ears.
Well, maybe we'll meet again.
Yeah, that would be...
Yeah, I've got a good one about that. So I was the perfect girl, I got the part. I don't have a character name, I'm just the perfect girl. And the setup is that, the whole point of my character is that Hugh Grant's been put on these series of dates to try to distract him from Julia Roberts, and they're all disastrous, but even the perfect girl, which is my character, is not enough to distract him from Julia Roberts, and because he's meant to be with her. So even when they're great, they're not great enough. And I arrived to be the perfect girl, having bought a suit, a 1960s men's suit in a thrift shop about a week before, and I'd developed an incredibly weird allergic reaction to and I'm not an allergic person, but I came out in hives all over my body to the point where I went to the doctor and he could write his name on my back with his finger. Like, I was so raised and livid in time for me to turn around, and he showed me in the mirror that he'd written his own name in the sort of raised skin on my back just with the tip of his finger. Anyway, he put me on steroids. I was like, I've got to be the perfect girl in 5 days. I've got to be like as good as Julia Roberts, and I'm just covered in hives. And anyway, he put me on like these bumper steroids, and I came out like a balloon. The hives vaguely went down, but when sometimes when you go on steroids, you get like this moon face. Mm-hmm. That happened to me, of course. I got like this football face, and it went down on one side finally, but not the other. So I came to be the perfect girl, and also when I got nervous, the rash came back. So obviously I was really nervous. I was mortified that they couldn't film me from one side because I had like this chipmunk face. And the rest and the whole of me, just every time I got scared, went bright red. And they had to hold this industrial fan by the side of the camera, and every time they said cut, they were just fanning me down to try to get this rash off me. Oh my God. Anyway, so that was me being the perfect girl.
Now we need to go back and watch it.
I know, you can see it. You can see there's definitely one cheek that's like a little chipmunk action going. Oh man.
Mary Poppins, it is wonderful to see you.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Mary Poppins Returns is coming out on Christmas Day, 2018. I play Jane Banks. It was just a beautiful experience. I think it's going to be wonderful. I think Emily's going to be the perfect Mary Poppins, and I have to sing in it. I have to sing a sort of 2-line duet with Lin-Manuel Miranda, and oh my God, I cannot sing, and I'm terrified of singing, and it was like the most terrifying, horrendous thing. But luckily the man that was doing the music supervisor said he could make a banana sing, because I think, they've got amazing things they can do now with buttons. But that was pretty embarrassing, having to sing a duet with Lin-Manuel Miranda, and I just can't sing. They made a special group for me at school called the Crows. Me and my friend were so bad at singing. There were the Larks and the Robins, and they made the Crows for me and Araminta. So there I was, like, singing in Mary Poppins, knowing I was a crow.